On April 8th, 1991, Swedish vocalist Per Inge Olven, aka Dead, was found shot to death in a home owned by the band. It was a self-inflicted fatal gunshot wound. He was also found with his wrist slit and a suicide note that read, "Sorry for all the blood, cheers." It also included a note to local law enforcement apologizing for firing a gun inside. His bandmate, upon finding his body, instead of notifying local authorities, went to a local liquor store, bought a disposable camera, and photographed the scene. This photograph was later leaked to the public and used for a bootleg version of the band's live album, Dawn of the Black Hearts. This is a different Swedish black metal band. This album is Stormblast. It came out in 1996, 3 years after I was born. I have owned it since I was 16. Today I would like to share with you a little bit about black metal culture. I would like to discuss what this object represents and what it means to me. This represents a form of music borderlining on a cult. Black metal has a history of church burnings, Satanism, murder, and suicide, and ties to the occult. Most of what gives it its appeal is its truly dark and authentic past. What it also represents is a huge catalyst for the music industry. Black metal was the first people to incorporate blast beats and tremolo picking into their music. That's a very difficult and skillful technique to master. After black metal's birth in 1990, they went on to inspire death metal, grindcore, metalcore, and a new wave American metal. So now that we've talked a little bit about the history of black metal, I'd like to discuss what it means to me. So I'm a musician, I play guitar, and right now I'm working on a black metal project. So the history is very important to me. I'm not as obsessed with death as the original founders of black metal are, but I do find it really powerful to listen to an album that has so much history to it. And I like to think about what these people were thinking about when they made this album, what they wanted you to hear, and they ultimately died for their music. So I think it's profoundly powerful. I also do album artwork, and I want to say 90% of the logos for modern metal is based off of this original black metal artwork. And that's pretty much 100% of what I do for Bay Area metal bands. I also do like the album artwork, cover work. And a lot of metal today is inspired by that. Like there's some new wave stuff, but the album that I'm currently working on, I'm gonna go like 100% like homage to black metal. So now that we talked a little bit about the significance of black metal culture and we learned the history behind it and what it means to me, I'd like to conclude this speech by finishing the story I told earlier. The bandmate who found Per Inge's body was also found dead 2 years later. He was stabbed to death 23 times by another fellow bandmate. So the next time you listen to an album, I'd want you to consider the people who wrote it and the message that they ultimately wanted you to hear. Thanks.